So welcome back to a very sad episode, and it really is. I was reading all about this online, and I was like, oh my god, it's happened. It's the end of an era. Remember when Nintendo Power shut down, how we all felt about that? That killed me. I was so bummed out about it. And now I feel the same way about another company, Prima. And some people pronounce it Prima. I'm so upset about this. It's unreal. It's unreal. They make strategy guides. They have since 1990. And the news has come out that they are shutting down operations fully in the beginning of 2019. It looks like it's the end of strategy guides for this company. Now, I believe that other companies may create guides and books once in a while. There is companies that do that. But these guys have been around for a very, very long time. Look at this. I dug this up. Good old Wild Arms, and they were there for Shenmue, and we've got, look at this. We got posters falling out. They had posters and stuff like that. Wind Waker, and this is the last one that I picked up. Was for Samus Returns. I knew something was up. I knew something was up for a while. That I'd be going into certain video game stores like EB Games. I would go there once in a while. I do go there once in a while. And why I would go into EB Games is to look at the strategy guides. Do you remember back in the day, I was talking to one of my friends, Jay Hooft, about it. He used to work in EB Games. They would always say to you, hey, are you going to buy the game? You got to buy the strategy guide with it. There was always that incentive to buy the strategy guide because strategy guides were a huge business. They were a huge thing. And so I still go into EB Games looking for strategy guides for like latest games that I'm playing. And like, I don't go to EB Games sometimes to buy their games. I go to see what strategy guides they have. And I started to notice in the last year or two that there wasn't that many. And lately, not at all. And I was like, oh, this is really weird. And I'm like, oh, they're probably just slowing down and all that. But I didn't think that they were going to go completely gone. And Brady Games, does anybody remember Brady Games strategy guides? Were a huge thing, and they were bought and combined with Prima a few years back. And so I'm guessing that they're gone as well. Jesus, it's crazy. I just remember the excitement going to a video game store and buying the game, and I'd always buy the strategy guide. And I wouldn't necessarily buy the strategy guide because I needed the strategies within it. It was more like I wanted it for the artwork and maybe the poster. And it felt like a fun package to buy together. It wasn't just buying the video game, you buy the guide and you come home and you can have a bit of fun. So you buy a role-playing game. I remember buying Final Fantasy XII and getting the limited edition. Remember that? Limited edition strategy guides. With it and coming home and opening it up, and it was like a big deal thing. It was like kind of Christmas morning when you get the game and the strategy guide together. It was a lot of fun. And, I'm somebody who's not living in the past. I understand the world has changed. If somebody wants to figure out a game now, you know where they go? They don't even necessarily go to GameFAQs anymore. They go online to YouTube and watch somebody play the game, a walkthrough, a playthrough, and say, oh, I'm stuck at this point in the game. Where are they? Oh, and they just fast forward to the point. Oh, yeah, I got to do that. That's it. That's how they get it. They're fixed now. If you're stuck in a game, I know I've gone and done it a few times to see, I guess strategy guides are something for the older people now to remember. And it's kind of sad thinking that younger people now going in, there won't be an entire rack. I remember entire racks of, video game magazines and stores, and you'd be leafing around them all. And, I'd buy Parasite Eve and the strategy guide. And those days look like they're coming to an end. As I say, I think other companies will step in and create some strategy guides once in a while for some companies. But the glory days of the 1990s are coming to an end. I brought these up earlier, like for Wind Waker and like Shenmue. These are just some of them. I have a ton of strategy guides. I have an entire wall full of them because they weren't just a guide to help you. They were part of the experience. And I got all welled up with emotion. I was like, it's so sad that certain era has come to an end, like Nintendo Power came to an end. And I will have nothing but great memories of going into stores and picking those up and getting excited and coming home. And like, look at some of the early ones too, like Wild Arms. Some of the early ones were terrible too. Look at this. It's just writing. I was always so mad when I picked up this strategy guide. There was no pictures in it or anything. Look at this. This is some of the early days. It's like, oh. But it was great to have a strategy guide for Wild Arms. It was great to have something else in a time where you just get the game. There was no merchandise like there is now. This kind of was the merchandise in a way. So it was something extra you could buy if you really liked a game. Say like Resident Evil 2, you could go and get the strategy guide for that. And you're like, oh yes, I'm a big fan. That's why I bought the strategy guide and all that. So anyways, what do you guys think? How do you feel about this? For a lot of the older people out there, you must kind of feel it. For a lot of younger people, they're like, oh, I don't need a guide. So what? You know, just like magazines are pretty much dying as well. I don't need a guide. I got everything I need online. And that's true. We do have every single thing we need online for video games now. But I think we all like having that tangible thing that you can pick up in your hand and it's kind of a real object. Just like physical video games are a real object. And they're going digital a lot more now. And it's one piece at a time, isn't it? We got Nintendo Power is gone. Strategy guides from Prima are disappearing the way that they are now. We're entering in to, I swear, the all digital era. And give it another 10 years with video games and I look at me. You think I want to see the end of physical video games? But we're getting that direction. The pieces are happening. Things are peeling off bit by bit to reveal digital only. How do you guys feel about that going forward? So I'm really upset today. I'm really bummed out. I'm gonna go look at some of my strategy guides and have some memories of the good old days of walking into stores and picking them up. So anyways, guys, until next time.